Very good morning to all of you. I welcome you all to Baji Rao IAS Academy. Today is 12th July 2023. Today we have certain important articles which will be very helpful for our exam preparation. So let's start with the quotation of the day. If you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. See guys, in your life you may have certain difficulties like financial situation, family situations, or some other complications. So because of all these challenges you cannot do great things, but I certain you guys, you can do these small things in a great way. Don't take pressure in yourself in these small things. Do the things whichever you are doing in a very great way, because you all should remember, if you do the work properly, if you do the work as a worship, then will ultimately lead you towards your success. Okay guys, so let's move into the yesterday's question. In case of which one of the following biogeochemical cycles, the weathering of rocks is the main source of release of nutrient to enter the cycle? Option A, carbon cycle. Option B, nitrogen cycle. Option C, phosphorus cycle. Option D, sulfur cycle. I already told you in yesterday's discussion itself, you should see the question. It has some trick in it. See, if you see the option carbon cycle, they ask the main source, that should be the rocks. So if you see the carbon cycle, you have in the atmosphere, you have carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide can be a resource. So it is rocks cannot be a main source. So option can be eliminated like this. Carbon can be eliminated. We have nitrogen dioxides, nitrogen oxides in the environment. So you can also eliminate this one. And if you see the phosphorus and sulfur, some people will get stuck into the 50-50 option C or D. But if you see the sulfur, we have the sulfur dioxide in the environment. But in case of phosphor, the option C is the correct answer here, because phos- phosphorus can be only derived from rocks as the main source. So the option is C. See guys, these are the direct questions asked from the NCRT. If you go through the NCRTs in a very good manner, definitely it will help you for your examinations. Okay guys, this is the today's question. It is also the direct question from the NCRT. You see, which one of the following ancient towns is well known for its elaborate system of water harvesting and management by building a series of dams and channelizing the water into connected reservoirs? See, guys, this is the very important keyword: reservoir, dams, and reservoirs. So, option A, Dolavira; option B, Kalibangan; option C, Rakigari; option D, Roper. See, guys, try to give the answer in the comment section. We will discuss the answer in tomorrow's discussion. These are the important articles which we are going to discuss today: demographic transition and change in women lives. And as actually, the guys, this article is all about the change in the demography, the population trend in the India, and how the women population has been changing, how the other men population, small age, old age populations are changing, and what are the effects on the life of women. We will look into this in a very vivid manner. It will be very interesting to note, guys. And the second article is greenwashing and recent Forest Act amendment. You all know, guys, recently Parliamentary Committee has given note for the changes in the Forest Conservation Act 1980. This in this article, they are trying to give some definition for the greenwashing. The government is uh, trying to get itself the autonomy, and they are affecting the forest conservation and our targets. We will look into this article in a very better manner. Okay guys, and the third article is Indian monsoon mayhem. You all know, guys, the North India has been facing the, yeah, humongous task of overcoming this monsoon rain. Many places are having the floods, landslides, and even many people lost their lives and livelihoods. We will look into the article: what has been affecting the Indian monsoon, what are the factors behind it, how the global warming is impacting the monsoon. And the last article is about farmers and PepsiCo. PepsiCo has uh, PepsiCo has applied for the retrieval or revival of its patent over the potato variety, but the authority has declined or revoked its authority. So we will look into this article: why the authority has revoked the PepsiCo's authority to produce the potato variety, and we will see in the technical manner what are the factors affected the PepsiCo's authority over the potato. Okay, guys. So let's start with the first discussion: demographic transition and change in the women's lives. What is the demographic change in women's lives? See guys, if you see throughout the India, there has been the demographic change. First, let's understand what is the demography. Demography means nothing, guys. It is the study of population. So changes in the population trend, how the population are moving, birth, death, migration. All these aspects will be considered under the demography studies. Okay, guys. So, throughout the India, demography has undergone a massive transformation from childhood to the old age, childhood, adulthood, old age, etc. Everyone, even women, men, they all undergone a very big and massive transition. What are the transformation we have been witnessing in the demography? First one, receding the starvation. See, guys, after the Green Revolution, our food availability, food stocks availability was huge. So, because of all these things and poultry, white revolution, green revolution, with the certain revolutions, we have overcome the starvation. So, there has been a declining trend in the starvation. Starvation means having starvation means nothing, guys. Hunger, hungry. So, we having the receding hungry and improved public health because of public health infrastructure and different government schemes like Ayushman Bharat and the availability of doctors are increasing. So because of all this, public health has been improved and the improved male life expectancy has been increased. Life expectancy of men has been increasing and it has reached the 69 years and rapid decline in the mortality. You know, guys, child mortality and even the maternal mortality both has declined in the recent days. So these are the recent transformation what we are seeing in the demography. Okay, guys. Similarly, women has a very big massive changes in the demographic transition. If you see the women's transition since from the childhood, the woman's role and the woman's transition in the childhood, adulthood, and also in the old age has showing a very big positive trade. There is also some negative traits. We will look into that. What are the factors and what are the changes we have been witnessing in the women demography? If you see the sex selective abortion, it was like it was prevalent in the 1950 to 2019. Actually, we give the technical term to this son meta preference because of patriarchal attitude. We have the patriarchal society. We prefer for the sons rather than daughters. Many missed the window of opportunity to upskill themselves due to the child caring obligation resulted in the unskilled women labor workforce. See, guys, you all know care work. Women have been allotted the care work or the housework as an job for themselves. Women are mostly employed in the house caring only, and the most important obligation or the work they want to do is child caring. In the case of child caring, many people or many women are enrolled enroll themselves or involved in the child care only. So because of this obligation, they not get chance to upskill themselves. So because of lack of availability of skills, they become unskilled women. So the labor force participation from the women has also decreased. Okay, guys, and also you see over the years the number of years spent on the child care has been declined from the 14 years to 8 years. Actually, if you see the 1992 1993, in this year the number of years spent for the child care is 14 years, and in the case of 2018 to 2020, the number of years spent on the child care is just 8 years. So the trend has been changing. Women who they themselves make available for the child care, the time allotted for the child care has been decreased. So because of this, what happened, the gross enrollment ratio for women in education has been increased significantly. And also, if you see the life expectancy of women, it has increased over time, and they are saying it is expected to rise to 21 percentage by 2015. Why this all happening? Actually, if you see, guys, the demography of women has been changing significantly because of availability of public health infrastructure and the other facilities. They more women are getting education. Because of this education, because of their economic freedom, their demography is showing the positive trend. If you see, For a widowed woman, the lack of access to savings and property results in dependence on children, mainly sons. You all have seen or come across in your life. There are many women after losing their husband, they become widowed, so they become dependent on the sons rather than daughter. So mostly the families in the Indian society they prefer the son rather than woman. These are the demographic trend going regarding to the women. Okay, guys. So what can be done in this regard? How we can ensure that we can improve the women demography? See, guys, we want to ensure the economic empowerment of women. Until and unless we empower the women with the bargaining power, with the skill and the education, we cannot make the emancipation of women. So to give them the freedom to ensure the demography showing more positive trend, we need the following aspects. What are those? Enhancing access to employment and assets to decrease the dependency on sons. I told you guys we have the son meta preference attitude in our society. So to overcome this, we need to give the employment opportunity and access to the economic resources. Once we give these kind of resources, automatically the women's dependence on their sons will decrease. It will give the positive aspect, and also we will give access to safe and affordable childcare. You know, guys, by decreasing the allotment of time to childcare, women's enrollment in the education has been increased. So what they're saying, if we give the affordable and safe childcare, then they will it will improve the women's empowerment. And also we need to expand the anganwadis. Expansion of Anganwadis to include the crutch to increase women's workers' participation. So, if once women are free from the childcare work, then they will automatically send their children to the Anganwadi. Government will take care of their children. So, the women can automatically get employed and they ensure their workforce has been used in the some economic purposes, not in the household purposes. Okay, guys, and make staffing crutch an acceptable form of work under the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. See, guys, we need to ensure under the MGNREGA scheme, we should ensure the crutch facility so that women who themselves they are allotting their time for the childcare will reduce. And we also ensure that self-help groups should be involved in these childcare activities. Childcare centers should be created in the urban and rural areas. So, with all this aspect, actually, we want to ensure that we are focusing more on the child care facilities. If we once ensure the affordability and accessibility of child care facilities, automatically women they themselves involve themselves in the workforce and labor force participation. So to overcome all the demographic challenges, the only option we have is empowering them from the economic barrier by providing them all the facilities which they are entangled. Okay, guys, let's move into the second article, greenwashing. You all know, guys, our parliament is trying to change the Forest Conservation Act 1980. They have changed the certain provisions, and the Joint Parliamentary Committee has been formed to look into the issues. Joint Parliamentary Committee has given the green signal note for the changes. But there are certain provisions which seems to be the greenwashing. First, let me introduce you what is greenwashing. Well, the greenwashing means, guys, it is negative term. Negative term. First, remember this, guys. Have you all heard the word whitewashing? When we will do the whitewashing, if um some pillar becomes dirty, if your house become dirt, so you will do the whitewashing for the wall. So likewise, if some project looks like they are affecting the environment, the company will try to do the greenwashing, like they are trying to show that these products are environment friendly. So they will create the false image for something to make themselves they are environment friendly. Okay, guys, so this is greenwashing. Certain provisions what the government is trying to bring are seems to be greenwashing for the author. What the author is saying here, in the case of Forest Conservation Act 1980, this is a metal piece which ensure that forest conservation and the forest enhancement in India is in the very good space. Actually, it ensures the forest conservation in a very rigid manner. But in the case of the new amendments, it seems to be affecting the forest conservation. Okay, guys, and also here the author is saying in the landmark Supreme Court judgment, please remember this judgment, guys. It is T.N. Godavarman Tirumalpad case. T.N. Godavarman Tirumalpad case. In this case, the Supreme Court has given a judgment, and it has broadened the scope of protection of not officially classified forest. See, guys, in the case of Forest Conservation Act, we have two types of forest. It's like classified forest and the non-classified forest. In the classified forest itself, we have the dense forest, open forest. So these are technical things. We don't want to get involved in this. But just remember this: there are classified forest and non-classified forest. Forest Conservation Act mostly focused on the for classified forest. But after the Goda Orman case, the Supreme Court has emphasized that the conservation effort should also include on the non classified area. So because of this, what happened, the forest conservation has been encompassed or leveraged into the both classified forest and also the non-classified forest. And also, you all know, guys, we have the international target of creating the carbon sink of 2.5 billion to 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide by 2030. But uh, by bringing these kind of amendment, it seems to be somewhat it is a distant dream. Okay, guys, the new amendment effectively means that states can no longer classify an unclassified forest. You all know, guys, state have given some authority, some freedom to the developers or the industrialists to invest. So what they are doing, some unclassified forest area have been freed from the conservation effort. So the developers, investors can invest in those areas without any requirement of forest clearance. So what they are saying here, so the definition of forest has been somewhat made as liberal in this regard in the First Amendment. And the Second Amendment is, you all know, guys, for the 100-kilometer area from the international border, they have allowed the infrastructure development in the name of strategic and security purposes. So this is also affecting the environment, and it also seems to be the greenwashing. In the name of security, we are affecting the forest land. And the primary criticism is amendments do not really contribute to the regenerating natural forest, but rather incentivize afforestation for commercial ends. You all know, guys, our focus should be enhancing the forest cover. We want to regenerate the natural forest, but what is happening here, the amendment has focused more on the commercial end of afforestation. It not focused on the regeneration of natural forest. And also, what the author is saying, they are saying government is focusing more on the private forest. They want to ensure the afforestation in the non-forest area, but this is not going to create a good solution for creating or a permanent solution for a carbon stock. It will not create a permanent carbon stock, because private forest, creating the private forest may be a good idea in theory, but in the practical, it is very difficult to create a permanent carbon stock by using the public or by using the private forest. See, in the name of carbon credit, in the name of encouraging the private people to develop a afforestation area, it will not create a permanent carbon stock. Ultimately, we need to ensure that natural area has been enhanced. Natural area get the more forest cover and the tree cover. Okay, guys. So let's move into the another article. North India's monsoon mayhem. You all know, guys, India, especially in Delhi and North India, they have received a rainfall which they have not received in the past 40 years. See, in the single day reception of rainfall, it has not witnessed this kind of rainfall in the last 40 years. We will look into the reason, what are the factors which affect the monsoon, and how the global warming has affecting the monsoon. See, guys, the warm and humid atmosphere acts like a steroid for the weather. It has enhanced the intensity and the frequency of rain in the India, especially in North India. Now we are witnessing a very huge amount of water. This has been what do you say? This has been catalyzed or enhanced by increasing in the warmness and the humidness in the atmosphere. How was the monsoon distributed? You see, guys, there has been a particular trend in India. The monsoon will give the proper rainfall to all the region. We have some data regarding this, but because of global warming, the monsoon has been disturbed. The distribution of monsoon has been affected. If you see the monsoon's arrival, the onset of monsoon has been delayed. This has been attributed to the global warming. Because of the delayed onset, the distribution of rainfall has also decreased in a significant manner, with excess rainfall over the northwestern Ghats. See, guys, some areas received the very high amount of rainfall, some areas received the very low amount of rainfall. If you see the northwestern Ghats and the northwest India, they have received the excess rainfall. But if you see the regions like Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, and the Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, these regions, hey, light. These regions have received the very low rainfall. And our 10 நிமிஷம் and if you see in Himachal Pradesh, it has received the extreme heat. Along with that, it also received the very heavy rainfall. So the distribution of rainfall has changed significantly because of the global warming. And also, what they are saying, did the climate change influence this monsoon? Obviously, yes. Whatever the things happens around in the global climate, this has been largely impacted by the changes in the climate, guys. You all know, guys, we are witnessing the wildfires or the forest fire all over the world. We are witnessing the El Nino effect. We are witnessing the coral bleaching. We are witnessing the ocean acidification. These all these factors are saying that it is making clear that the global warming is impacting the monsoon also. Actually, if you see the monsoon, it is very difficult to understand the monsoon, guys, because our Indian subcontinent is like a veritable popcorn kettle because it always gives surprise to all weather or geographers, weather reporters and the geographers, because it is very difficult to predict the weather pattern in the Indian subcontinent, because you all know, guys, due to the geographical reasons, intertropical convergence zones formations and the movement of intertropical convergence zones and the direction of monsoon, formation of cyclones, all these factors make it complicated to understand this continent. So we can say it is like a popcorn kettle. It gives the many surprises. But what happened with the global warming? This unpredictability has increased a lot. So what the author is saying here, to achieve good forecasting or to achieve the sustainable disaster management, we need to ensure that we are forecasting the climate pattern and the weather pattern in a very good manner. We want to ensure that we study the space and time to we study the space and time in a regular manner to ensure that we should not get these surprises. Okay, guys. What is the legal role between the farmers and PepsiCo? You all know, guys, PepsiCo produces our favorite item, Lays. In the Lays, we have the potato chips. Have you ever wondered how these potato chips are somewhat differ from our regular potatoes? See, guys, the PepsiCo use a different type of variety, that is FL2027. It is a type of potato. It is especially called as a chips potato. It basically contains the low external defect, high dry matter. It actually contains the high solid content and also the stable sugar. All these things make it as somewhat special. So this special variety is called FL 2017. Actually, this PepsiCo has got the permission from the authorities to use this product from 2016 for the 6 years. They got the permission under the Protection of Plant Varieties and Forest Rights Act 2001. So what they did now, they actually tried to renew their application. They want to ensure again they need the permission for another 6 years. So they applied for this authority, Protection of Plant Varieties and the Forest Right Authority. What happened? This authority has declined the PepsiCo's PepsiCo's request. After the denial, they moved into the High Court. What High Court did? High Court also rejected their plea. They cannot use this potato variety again. They cannot get the certificate of registration because the certificate of registration already has been granted for the 6 years. They cannot use it again for the same purposes. If someone possesses the patent, you all know guys, under the Patents Right Act, if someone possesses the patent to use that product, we need to get certificate of registration. See, in the case of FL2 2027 potato variety, the patent holder is in America. A particular company holds the patent for the FL 2027. So the PepsiCo received the certificate of registration from the Indian government. So they used this to ensure that to make the market, sell, import and export, or to distribute this FL 2027 variety, they got the certificate of registration from the Indian market, and they used it for the last 6 years, but they want to renew it. To renew it also, there should be some particular novel thing in that. Without any novel thing, you cannot extend the patent. So what happened guys, the authority has said that there are certain reasons. The reasons has been envisioned or listed in the section 34 of Protection of Plant Varieties and the Farmers Rights Act 2001. What the act is saying, under the section 34 of this act, there has been a clearly mentioned grounds for revocation. First one, incorrect information furnished by the applicant. Actually, on this ground only, the PepsiCo's application has been rejected. It has furnished a wrong information. And also there are certain other grounds for the revocation. The other grounds are certificate was granted to an ineligible person, and a failure of the breeder to provide the required seeds for compulsory license. A failure to comply with the Act's rules, regulations and directions issued by the authority. If the grant of the registration certificate is against the public interest, these are the grounds. On these grounds, a certificate granted can be revoked. Okay, guys. So the PepsiCo certificate has been revoked on the ground that is the first ground, incorrect information furnished by the applicant. What is this? PPV and FR Act. This is the Plant Protection of Plant Variety and the Forest Right Act. This act provides an effective framework to conserve and encourage the development of various plant varieties. Okay, guys, and it also ensure the effective management, effective safeguard, and effective recognition of rights of breeders, researchers, and farmers to promote the agriculture development in the country. Additionally, it also facilitates the mushrooming of Indian seed industry and ensure availability of high quality seeds and planting materials to farmers. Basically, guys, this act has ensures that whoever produce the new seed variety, they will get patent. It encourages those developers to develop more variety, and it also ensures that good quality of seeds are available in the Indian market. See, without the any authority, without any law, we cannot ensure the availability of good plant varieties in seeds. You all know guys, India need the good seed replacement rate. In India, we are using the same seeds again and again. We cultivate some product and we save these particular seeds for the another season. We do the same thing for all over the years. But the trend want to change. We need to ensure the seed replacement. We need to use the new seeds which possess the good quality. So for all these aspects, we need this PPV and FR Act, which is the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers Rights Act. So that is all for today. Thank you so much guys. Thank you for the listening. If you like the video, please press the like button. If you have any comment, please do it in the comment section. I will try to improve it. And don't forget to touch the subscriber button. Along with that, also touch the bell icon button so that you get all notification regarding the all videos which we post in the Baji Rao IAS Academy. Okay guys, thank you so much. Have a nice day.